Reads with Amazon, and I am Amazon. And this is the Mercury Retrograde reading for the water signs. So, as we all know, we are in Mercury Retrograde now. It's in Gemini. Lots and lots of information, lots of communication, or you might be feeling like you don't want to talk to anybody at all. There's obviously more room for technical difficulties, errors, spamming, secure your passwords, secure your accounts, double check everything, reread contracts, all of that stuff, because, Mercury retrograde is already kind of hectic on its own, but being that it's in Gemini, where it is exalted, it's going to be a little bit more chaotic than normal. And we're in Gemini season 2, so lots of fun. Let's get started, right? Okay, I think I'm going to start with Scorpio first. So, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. What do you need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? What does Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? Let's see. What's gonna come out? Fixed signs usually are a little bit, sometimes I feel resistance from them. There we go. Ooh, but this card that came out is good. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, let's see if one more card wants to come out. Okay, this is honestly great energy here. Okay, so Scorpio, the first card that came out was the World. This is, let me see, I can't even think of the zodiac it's connected to right now, but this is a good sign. This means that there are major cycles are coming to an end, and major cycles will be coming to a beginning. Starting new, starting fresh. You are probably feeling this within yourself. There are things that are transforming for you during this time. And 21 breaks down to a 3, so I definitely feel like it's within like the creative realms, or just again with communication too. Learning new ways or better ways to communicate with people, understanding better ways to communicate with yourself as well, better self-talk, more compassion in your speech and communication, things like that. But just overall newness in general. And it's because you're doing this work, internally, and the energy right now is really good for doing this kind of like reevaluation of things, looking over of things, figuring out what needs to end, figuring out where you can start again, and planning how to start again. And right after that, we have Judgment in reverse. So I think, this kind of goes hand in hand with the World card here, with, understanding or recognizing those moments when you're being too harsh on yourself, and maybe when you're being too critical of others. That's definitely something that may need to be brought to the forefront and worked on during this Mercury retrograde, Scorpio, because you are very meticulous and particular about things. it's very easy to want to take the reins and take control and show people what they're doing wrong and what needs to be done properly and this, that, and the third. And there's nothing wrong with being constructive, of course, but when that turns into judgment and then you start to treat people differently based off of what you believe their ability is or what you believe their worth is, then that's when things get tricky, especially if the respect and boundaries are there with that person, right? So consider the times when you're judging yourself too harshly. Consider moments when you are judging others too harshly, and think about where that comes from. Why are you being so hard on yourself? Why are you projecting that onto other people? Where does that come from, right? And then right after that, we have the King of Swords. So, I think this is just, again, you really refining how you are going to communicate with yourself and how you're going to communicate with others around you and in your relationships, especially with your creative endeavors and the things that you're just passionate about, right? Especially when it comes to differences and the differences that you have with people or differences of opinion, things like that. It's not going to be so, what's the word? I guess it won't be so incendiary, right? It's not going to be so intense or super deep to the point where it's like you're angry or you're lashing out or now you're actually coming for the person. So with the King of Swords here, this is really just an energy of being confident in how you're speaking, what you want to say, how you're conveying your ideas to other people, but also being open to the exchange of ideas, the exchange of knowledge, and being compassionate towards that, but also standing firm on your boundaries, on your needs, what you believe in, but not being stubborn about it, right? And at the bottom of the deck for the overall energy here, we have the Devil in reverse. So this is really, you coming out of the those habits that have maybe held you down, coming out of situations where you weren't thriving or you weren't being seen or you weren't being heard, and you were also keeping yourself there by suffering. So now you are speaking more truth to your power and learning new ways to communicate, learning better ways to communicate with yourself, with others, and not looking to control every aspect of everything, because as we know, we can't do that. And it may cause you some worry with the Nine of Swords in not in reverse, with the Nine of Swords up right here, because that means that certain dynamics will change. You might lose relationships, or people may try to come back in your life that you have maybe fallen out with, or that are no longer in your life. Just in general, people grow apart as well. Don't obsess over this, right, Scorpio? That is something that you can fall into at times. So don't obsess over this, because that's what I feel like this Nine of Swords is saying here. Don't obsess over what's going to happen next. When's that going to happen? Am I going to lose these people? Is this going to happen? This, that, and the third. Think and be in the present, right? Look at what's unfolding in front of you. Think about how you're feeling in the moment. Analyze those things and allow things to unfold as you make your decisions throughout these situations and just throughout your daily life. Okay, Scorpio, you guys got it. You're able to transform. You are the transformer. So give yourself space to mourn things. Give yourself space to feel your feelings, of course, and definitely as you do that, allow that space to clear so that you can bring in these, start these new cycles, bring in your abundance, speak to yourself better, speak with others better, be more just confident in what you have to say and not being afraid to say what you have to say as well. You know, but also doing so, still standing firm in what's true to you, what your boundaries are, while being compassionate at the same time and respecting others' boundaries and needs as well. Alrighty, Scorpios, I hope that resonated, and I will catch you guys later. Alrighty, Cancer, you're up next. Let's see what's in store for you this Mercury retrograde. What do Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? Let's see. One more shuffle. I feel like there's been, difficulty speaking up. I feel like that's kind of like a regular, like, Cancer thing. Not solely a Cancer thing, but more likely a Cancer thing. I feel like it's kind of overwhelming for Cancer right now. Kind of just all of the information, probably having a lot of interactions with people right now too, because it's getting warmer. Cancer season is coming up soon too, so I think it's a lot of energy coming towards you, a lot of outside energy that you're feeling, and it can be kind of overwhelming. Yeah. Okay. So the first card here, Cancer, that came out was the Seven of Swords. So this card is usually one of, like, deceit, or kind of being a little misleading, or even just trying to be, like, a little bit more strategic, playing chess. It toes the line between, manipulation and things like that. But I feel like this is saying that there's something that someone's not being honest about, whether it's you not being honest with someone, you not being honest with yourself, or someone not being honest with you. But there's just something here with this Seven of Swords that is like, there's something that's just like not exactly like adding up for you, or not exactly making sense. Because, like, even now I feel kind of like stuck, like you're trying to piece together certain things, and it's just, they're not fitting. So you're kind of sitting here looking at, or thinking, or pondering, like, okay, what's going on? And right after that we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So I think it's kind of making it a little difficult to see, or to feel like you can create or build with the people that you're around, or with certain energies that maybe are trying to create with you. Like, it's kind of getting difficult to see, like, what can be started here, or what's being established, really. And the Page of Wands in reverse here is, again, that kind of stuck, like, okay, but what do I do about this sort of feeling, and both of these pages here in reverse, I think this is like a sign really to kind of, sit back and think about what have you been feeling lately, that is yours. What do you feel when you're around certain people, or what have you been feeling when certain people say things to you, or when you're talking to people. Are you being honest? Are you being honest with yourself about certain situations, or the way that you feel about things, or certain mentalities that you have, because it's kind of stifling, or even clouding kind of your vision as far as what you believe is available to you, what resources you believe are available to you. And because it's kind of difficult to see like what is happening in real time, or even again, what is being built or created, it's affecting your action again. So you might just feel like you don't really know what to do. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Tower in reverse. So I feel like this is something that, as the overall energy here, I think this is something that you are either proceeding with caution or would want to proceed with caution because of the Tower in reverse here. There is opportunity for you to kind of make a certain move that needs to be made. And you may know what that is, or you may not know what that is, but whatever you do decide to do, just make sure you're thinking about it and considering what you really need to consider. And of course, make sure that you are considering yourself first. But this Tower here, this makes me feel like that you're kind of treading a fine line of something, and you're kind of waiting to see if the shoe will drop, right? So it's like kind of just like take your time, but also trust yourself and go within and listen to your spirit, trust your intuition, really consider what you're feeling, listen to your body, feel and see how it reacts in certain circumstances, or when you're thinking about certain things, or when you're interacting with certain people. Consider all of those things, because that's information in there for you to then make better intentional decisions that will put you in the place where you want to be. And we have the Lovers right after that. So Venus is in Gemini right now. This is Gemini's card. You might have Gemini placements. You might be dealing with a Gemini. But I think this is just, remembering to love yourself. If you are in a relationship, this is just like, your relationship is going to be okay. But it could also be that, there may be something, happening within your relationships that it can really be a turning point. And it's up to you if that's going to be a turning point for the better. Of course, it's not only up to you, but for your own sake and your perspective, it's up to you if this is going to be for the better or not. But this is also about, loving yourself and making sure you're taking that time to love on yourself and tend to your needs, and really make sure that you are being there for yourself the way that you are there for others. Okay, Cancer? I know it's really overwhelming when you're feeling all of this energy, especially from other people, especially from people that you really care about as well. And it can kind of, like I said, cloud up your vision. It can kind of cloud your intuition and make it difficult to make certain decisions, or even just have faith in your decisions. And it's going to be okay. Be honest and real with yourself about what's going on. Or if I hope that if there is something that is happening in a kind of secret or cunning way, that it is revealed to you, and that you do get that clarity, because Mercury retrograde is for clarity as well. As much as there is miscommunication and delays and mishaps, there is a lot of opportunity for clarity and abundance and clearing space as well. So you guys can do this. You guys got it. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty, Cancers. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Alrighty, Pisces. You're up next. Let's see what's going on. I think Jupiter is still in Pisces too, so lots and lots of opportunity for chaos, but also lots of opportunity for growth and exploration with Jupiter in Pisces and this Mercury retrograde, right? So let's see, Pisces, what do we have in store? What do Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? If you hear a little bell, that is my cat Pepper. She has a little bell on her collar. And she's scratching herself. Okay. Let's see, Pisces. Very interesting. Okay. So Pisces, the first card that came out was the Queen of Swords in reverse. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a place of vulnerability. The Queen of Swords, when this comes up upright, is very much like kind of like a hardened exterior, no bullshit type of energy, very direct, blunt, sometimes a little, abrasive, right? With the Queen of Swords in reverse here, I feel like this is, like I said, a space of vulnerability. You might be feeling some difficulty expressing how you're feeling right now, maybe to somebody that you're dealing with, or in regards to a situation that could be causing you some anxiety or some just emotional unrest. And and I think emotional unrest, definitely, because we have the King of Cups here and it came out on its side. And so, like I said, I feel like when these cards come out sideways, I like to read them as a turning point. So, you are probably at this place where you feel like you could either regress into your normal emotional habits, which may not always be the best. It could be escapism, it could be shutting down, it could be lashing out, it could be passive aggression, whatever that may be, that the shadow side of that energy. Or you could do the harder thing and speak truth to what it is that you're feeling, speak truth to your experiences, put yourself in that vulnerable space with discernment, right? Because the King of Cups is an energy of compassion, not just for yourself, but with others as well, and being able to identify, people's intentions by how they're interacting with you, and being able to see if they're hurting through their actions and things like that. So I feel like you're in a place where you can, fall into those self-destructive emotional habits, or you can elevate to, though it's harder, you can elevate to more compassionate and better discernment in your vulnerability and who you choose to share that with, and how much you choose to reveal about yourself. And I will say that I feel like this is going to go in the favor of, moving forward from poor emotional habits, because we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse here. So, if you felt abandoned, if you were feeling neglected, you are actually taking the time to sit with those feelings instead of running away from them. Or you are on the cusp of either sitting with them or running away from them. And if you're not sure, I am here to tell you that sitting with them, understanding where it comes from, that you were feeling these things in the first place, is where that freedom comes from, so that you can release these feelings of abandonment or of neglect, of even emotional abuse, if you've been in a pretty kind of tumultuous situation emotionally. This is going to end. That is going to end, and it's going to end when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, especially with yourself, but also with people who care about you. Using better discernment to make sure you're not leaving yourself vulnerable to those who only wish to cause you harm. Piscean love is very sacrificial sometimes, and but it's also very universal. So we always just want to give love and make sure that people aren't feeling bad. Really, we don't like for those, especially that we care about, to be feeling down. If we can take the pain away in some way, we'll do that. So I feel like this is a lesson about discernment. This is a lesson about knowing to take what's yours, and knowing what to leave, and knowing how to convey, this is what I feel, this is or knowing how to recognize in others, like, this is what they're going through, and I can tell by their reactions or by what they're saying to me, and moving forward that way, right? And because you're, again, you could either keep yourself in those habits where they aren't going to necessarily be productive and conducive to growth, or you can set new foundations for yourself and speak more truth to your power, speak your boundaries, be vulnerable with discernment, and don't be afraid to make space and create space for yourself, right? Because then after that, the tower is gonna fall if you continue to move in the direction of self-destruction, of escapism, of overindulgence. It's like I said, the tower's gonna fall. It's going to bring everything to a head, and you're gonna have no choice but to make a very difficult decision, and it will be harder if you're in deeper, right? So think about what you are setting up for yourself. Think about what habits, what behaviors, what foundations are you setting for yourself as far as your communication goes, and the vulnerability that you express in that communication. Okay, Pisces? Yeah, because look, with the Four of Cups in reverse here, it's time to let go of those habits. It's time to open your eyes and see, have a different perspective. Know that you don't have to suffer. Love is not suffering, and you don't have it. That doesn't have to happen at your expense, right? So this Mercury retrograde is here to inform you of the power that your vulnerability has, and not to be afraid of it, to set better boundaries for yourself, to use better discernment, and to set new foundations and new habits in your communication and your connection with others. Alrighty, Pisces. Let me know how you all feel in the comments. If this resonated, make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell a stranger, and I will see you all next time.